My dear love, you are so beautiful, kind, and godly. Your devotion towards Source has started making you more and more attractive. And I am sure, even though you don't care about getting attention from other men, but you must be getting lots of it. In the past, my family told me that you are not a right match for me, and the world I come from is very different from yours. But I realize that it's you who's very different, for sure. Different for sure, but from the worldly world, from the materialistic world. You are not the same as them. And this is my realization in all this while that I have been observing you. That you don't fit in the materialistic world. So anyone who sees you from the glasses of materialistic world, they would find you a little bit triggering to them. In some cases, they could also be scared of you and find you to be a bit strange because they don't know you and they would have many assumptions about you. So you don't have to fit into my world, is what I feel now. And over a period of time, I've also realized that even I don't fit into the world that I'm living in right now. And if I cannot, then how can you, my love? When I was confused, I was asking a lot of people for advice, and this is what I think confused people do. People who are clear with their thoughts either talk to someone they know will understand them, or they would talk to just a very few close-knit people. And even if by any chance someone goes ahead and gives them a negative opinion, they would not take it very seriously. But since I was not in that frame of mind, I asked some of my friends about you and how would it be? How would our future be? And they thought it would be weird because we are so different. I was scared to be boycotted by everyone. And also I was scared when I thought, what if I leave everyone? I might not get the same privileges again. I was maybe scared to even start from scratch. I was also scared to become independent and do something on my own, entirely on my own, because I have never done that in the past. But I now realize that I have to break free from the cage that I'm stuck in for such a long time. And I don't want to blame anyone, it's just that I am different from them. Some people saw many flaws in you, and for a long time I had believed them. And also sided up with them. But nowadays, I don't feel like agreeing to everyone. I see many flaws in them also, and in me as well. But I feel that some people hide it very well and camouflage it by mingling with the worldly world. I used to think that even your hood or your people are same as you. But I've been observing that you do stand out. And it's amazing how much independent you appear to be. These are the things that I could not see back then. It seems that you don't really need anybody's approval to live your life the way you want. You don't need anybody's stamp and you're following your heart and soul purpose. Just by looking at the way you do things and the way you live your life, I get inspired. I have matured too, and earlier I could easily blend in with my friends, and I needed to hang out with them to feel better. Even my family members, all the family affairs, I was a big part of it. But now with time, I find it difficult to prove myself to them, and I also find it difficult to do all the things that I've been doing with them. And again, I don't want to blame them for anything. It's just that I have realized that I was never really doing what I enjoyed from within. I wasn't bringing out my authentic side. And meeting you brought all of those nightmares or all of those fears right in front of me. I had to face them. It's a hard struggle nowadays to keep them and keep my own self happy at the same time. I wonder how you do it with your people. I wonder how you harmonize with everyone and still get to be your true self without even pleasing other people. It's very interesting, and I think I would like to take some notes from you. In the past, I acted out my anger and frustration, but after suffering so much, I feel helpless and stupid that I didn't listen to my soul's calling. You have grown, and I need to grow more. But don't you think there was some arrogance in me towards you? It felt as if there was a match going on between you and me on who is better. I didn't realize when I started competing with you and stopped loving you in the process. Instead of appreciating your qualities and becoming a team, I started pointing out your flaws and threw them at you whenever I wanted to win in a battle or in a fight. I said so many mean things to you. I knew it would hurt you. I knew you were so emotional. I knew you would feel so bad about it. And I know you must have. Looking back at the things I said to you, the brutality I've shown to you in my words and in my behavior, this is the reason why I feel bad today. And this is the reason it's so hard to sometimes face you. But the good thing that you've done is that you've used it in your stride and become even better. So much so that I feel like a little child who looks at the brightest star in the sky, hoping that one day it will have it, but knows that it can never happen. I feel there is such a huge gap between me and you. Maybe you were always the bright star, but I just could not see it because of the clouds that came in between the stars and me. They just stopped me from viewing it. And now it seems to me that only divine intervention can bring us together. I actually feel this, and I want to believe it. I want to believe so deeply in God that God will do some miracle, will do some magic. I was always taught to take all the control and always be the doer, but I don't think I have that capability in me or that energy in me. So I pray to God to help me out. One more blunder that hurts me a lot nowadays is that I made fun of your innocence. I told you to act your age or act yourself, be the woman you should be. I don't even know what it meant or what it means now, like all these things. At that time also I didn't know what I was saying, but I just wanted to say those things because I wanted to win. I wanted to act free. When I saw you living it up, I couldn't tolerate it. I could have also been confused with your free-spiritedness as being responsible, as being irresponsible. I confused your free-spiritedness as being irresponsible. But looking at the things you do for the environment and nature, it definitely was my mistake. An irresponsible woman cannot do these kind of things. You are a much better contributor than I have been, and the way you uplift other people's spirit, it's wonderful. Whatever you're doing, it's wonderful. Be it for other people, be it for the environment. Mostly when you do things for the environment and for nature, it really touches my heart. It makes me feel that you care so deeply about the things that other people don't care about at all. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to look good. Everyone is crazy for physical beauty and all the other things that people can buy from money. And I'm not saying that I don't admire the fact that you're also financially independent. At least from a distance, that's what I can see. And I'm probably still not independent fully because I need my family to do everything. Even if I'm doing some kind of a job, or I take up some project, or I do my own thing, they have a huge role to play in everything I do. It's hard to explain it right now, but yes, it seems to me that this could also be a big problem. I had become too serious in my life, and I think I still am a bit serious. And anyone who looked truly happy and chilled out, it made me feel troubled. I saw your straightforward attitude and childlike nature as a major flaw. Well, now I think that acting like we were in some kind of a formal relationship where you had to wear a business suit, put on a tie, and carry a laptop to take dictations from me was what I had turned it into. Just because I could not personally handle the truth. Sometimes I expected you to please me. I lost patience, and for me things felt a bit slow. And I just thought that they're not going anywhere. Nothing is going anywhere. And I called you out on that. I won't deny that after going away from you, I was happy for a certain period of time, but it was an illusionary happiness. Some of the materialistic achievements I got during that phase made me even more arrogant. And after that, a very dark phase was followed, and sometimes I feel I'm still living through that darkness. Maybe it's a result of whatever arrogance I had developed. People say that we should never play with a pure-hearted person, and I am guilty of doing that. Whenever I found you in your weak moments, I attacked you. And now when I'm going through these negative emotions, I realize what must I have put you through with my negative banter and egotistical behavior. It's my karma, and I feel sorry for myself. But you have moved on completely, and I know you are successful. I have surrendered my weapons because I am not happy, no matter how hard I try. I don't want to fight against God's will. I accept the punishment. This thought does create disturbance in my mind, but instant karma is served to me on a hot platter. And I know that this is my problem, not yours, because I was the overconfident one who needed constant pampering, not you. Despite being innocent and childlike, you were ahead of me in many of your accomplishments, and I never acknowledged a single one of that. I don't know why I never acknowledged anything good about you. I have no idea why. Because I acknowledge them now. I know that you are good. I know that you're wonderful. You have skills, you have talent, you have beauty. You have godliness in you. But why I was not able to show it to you when I was with you? I still don't understand this. And even now when I say all these things, I mean it. But don't know what happens to me. Whatever I am doing even now in my life is based on the feedback that you had given to me. I just took it too personally back then, and I got very negative about you, and I do wish if only I had taken it positively and not as an attack on my ego, we could have grown together. My love, I feel you're a very attractive person and so responsible at the same time. You spread joy wherever you go. You uplift others. But in my arrogance and ego, I could not see it. And whenever I did see it, I did not treat you right, which is why I am suffering now, and I think I have to suffer even more. My soul was empty. I wanted to control you, but I lacked the power of recognizing you as my true partner. I ran after things that glittered, shiny but empty pieces of broken glass. I learned through practical experience that all that glitters is not gold. There is no match of you. You are irreplaceable. Yes, there are other kind-hearted women too in the world. But I see them as my mothers and sisters. And when I look at you, I feel a different type of love. People say that marriages are made in heaven. I think our love was destined by God, and I'm working on increasing my faith so that we are brought together by destiny just the way we were taken apart. Let me tell you one thing though. Yes, I had many flaws and I listened to other people's opinions, but I did fall in love with you. That one part is true. Even if I have cooked up many lies on different occasions just to make you vulnerable, but I didn't fall in love with you fully when we were together. Rather, I fell for you after we got separated and I was in isolation. Those are the times I had nothing better to do and I used to think about you. But by the time I had learned some lessons through betrayal and backstabbing and reached to a point where I know for sure that nobody can be as loyal as you, nobody can be as selfless as you, and nobody can be as honest as you. You are the only one for me. I have forgiven you for all the wrong things you did to me. I was angry and upset, and that's why I ran away thinking that you're a mean person. But your success and not contacting me, giving me so much time to think about everything, made me realize where all I was wrong too. I want to praise you through this letter, through this note. You are divine, you glow, you shine, and I know you're mine. I never knew how a person behaves when they are going through spiritual awakening. My awakening was a difficult one. I was so caught up and trapped in the materialistic world that I could not understand your dreams and goals. They looked strange to me. I felt, why would anyone waste time in the things you were doing and not build a career that give recognition and respect in the society? But now I realize that you were not running after the shiny objects. You had found a path and you were sincerely walking on it, and I was acting like a huge roadblock. Sooner or later that roadblock had to go. But no more creating roadblocks on your path. I pray that you're able to do whatever God wants from me. And from you, of course. It was also because of the society and how I would be perceived by my own people. You are my queen, but I wanted you to serve only me. I was jealous, I was envious because I could not control you. I was a control freak, and I do realize that you are not my toy or my slave. But I was programmed to believe that a woman's duty is nothing more than being someone who serves her man. Yeah, very misogynistic. She can't have a life of her own. She can't have dreams or goals. Neither can she express her opinions or wear whatever she wants to wear. My struggle was the struggle of mind versus matter, and in this war I have realized that anyone who wants to have a healthy balance, it's not just a healthy mind, but it's also a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a disciplined life. It's a combination of mind, body, and soul. I also want to confess to you that I don't enjoy this materialistic lifestyle, even though I work very hard and I have all that one can ask for. But when I look at your free-spiritedness, I feel I'm still in some shackles. I'm now working on locating those shackles, those blocks, and without inhibition, I want to locate my flaws and work on them, on releasing them with full dedication. I love you despite all my wrongs and all your rights and wrongs too. I don't mind saying that you have been wrong too, because I want to be honest with you. But I think I judged you too much and I took the grudges too far. I could have forgiven you, I could have ignored those things, or I could have just accepted your apology, because at least you were apologizing, at least you said sorry to me. I haven't even done that. At least this is one place where I feel free. When I think about you, I feel free, honestly. And this is the biggest compliment I've given to anyone. There is an instant freedom in also accepting our flaws and wanting to release it. There is also freedom when I think about even releasing the baggage. And layer by layer, I am releasing my baggage. I am releasing my ego layer by layer. Layer by layer, I'm shedding my old skin. Layer by layer, I'm letting go of the poison in me. Layer by layer, I am becoming more of me. Now this is followed by the Divine Feminine's reply, which I am channeling. This is the reply that she feels she needs to say to the DM for all the things that he's just said. My dear love, I understand that we have had our differences, but it wasn't just you who was troubled by the differences. Honestly, despite being so free-spirited, I was also programmed to think that I cannot get the love I deserve. I was raised to always please other people and never get any acknowledgement. So, at least you complimented me even when we were together and asked me to let go of the thoughts that were troubling me so much. I do feel successful and independent, and I'm very grateful to God for everything that I have. But if you had not appeared on my timeline, and if you had not walked away from me, and if you had refused to accept me with my fear of abandonment, I would have also not committed so deeply within myself to let go of all the codependencies. Yes, my love, there was a time when I was also very hurt by you, and I felt angry and raged just by your thoughts. But I realized that it wasn't your fault entirely. My upbringing and childhood traumas had to be released so I could also attract healthy relationships in my life. I had to heal too. It's nice that you're working on yourself and you appreciate me more. It's good to know that you feel apologetic, but I'm also sorry to you for not being able to see your perspective, because you also had a perspective. We were both hurt within, we were both lost, or else we wouldn't have attracted each other as our twin flame partner. You have helped me to do my inner work better, so I'm very, very thankful to you, because I feel so amazingly amazing right now. At the moment, I can't think of the mean things you said to me or you did to me. And I know in due time, you will also come forward and explain everything to me if it's needed. So my love, let bygones be bygones. Don't live in your past. Move on. Step out from it. Be in your present moment. I pray for your well-being and I love you too. So this is where this letter has closed. I'm closing this letter over here. Thank you so much for being here with me. I would also like to tell you that not everyone is going to completely resonate with it. So for private readings, personal sessions and therapies, you can go through the description box and check out all the information over there. And once you're sure, you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. Also, before doing the reading in person in live, please do not share anything about your twin flame journey, because we don't want a biased reading. We want a very honest, straightforward and truthful reading, a very sincere reading which is done under the guidance of our masters and spirit guides. So on this note, I would be signing out from this particular session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.